Good morning, everyone. My name is Philip Hamilton. I'm the manager of the North Atlantic Right Whale Photo Identification Catalog. And on behalf of my co-authors, I'm going to give you an update on the catalog status. A brief introduction to the catalog for those of you new to the consortium. The catalog is a massive collaboration of over 750 contributors, resulting in over 97,000 photograph sightings from 1935 to the present. The ability to track the population status and monitor the demographics and health of this species is only possible with this powerful resource. And although photo identification may seem like a simple tool, when I say it's the most important one in our toolbox, I'm not exaggerating, at least not from my humble perspective. Slide shows the catalog over time. The blue line is the population estimate by Linden et al. With confidence intervals that Heather showed at the beginning of the meeting. The bars represent the absolute minimum number of whales alive from the catalog, with the color bars indicating that the whale was seen that year, and the white bars counting whales not seen that year, but seen both before and after. You can clearly see how the distribution shift in the mid-2010s impacted our ability to photograph the whales, with only about 62% of the living whales photographed in 2015, compared to the most successful capture year after we had modified our survey effort, which was 2019, when more than 97% of the whales were seen. This slide is a catalog snapshot as of a few weeks ago. We actually have added a few whales since then. In recent years, I've been using whales seen alive in the last 3 years to give you a distribution of males and females, as that number approximates the number that the population estimate by Dan Linden comes up with. A couple things to note in this slide. The proportion of females born into the population is similar to those seen alive. In recent years, the proportion of females alive has been quite a bit lower because of high female mortality. The other thing to note is that you see a lot of whales just disappear. This is the cryptic mortality that Pace et al. Described, with only about 36% of mortalities are detected. This slide shows the number of mother-calf pairs over the past 20 years. Purple means that the calf was not photo-identified and added to the catalog. A calf has to be seen with its mother after its callosity pattern has developed in order to be added to the catalog. So for example, this image in the bottom right, if that were the last sighting of the calf with its mother, then we would not be able to add it to the catalog through photo ID. We might be able to later link it through genetics. An average of 87% of the calves have been cataloged over the past 20 years. And one thing that's interesting in this graph is you can see very high success rate at cataloging calves from 2016 to 2021. And that's because most, if not all, of the mothers took their calves to the well-surveyed areas of Cape Cod Bay and the Gulf of St. Lawrence in those years. So the calves were well photographed in the latter half of their first year. This slide shows the changes in the catalog since the last consortium meeting. And we've added 17 whales to the catalog, and only one of those was not matched to a calf, and that's a whale that was first seen in 2022. I'd like to give a couple examples of these new whales, as these individuals are the face of the population. Uh, 5290 was recently added. It's one of the rare cases where a calf that was last seen with its mother in January, which is the top two slides, were able to be matched to subsequent juvenile photographs, which are the bottom two slides. This is a particularly interesting whale to have made because its mother, 3220, who's known as Cyclops, has a very interesting sighting history, having disappeared for 9 years in a row twice. So she's had 2 long sighting gaps and clearly is going to some habitats we're not aware of. So having this whale added to the catalog means we'll be able to track her over time, which is great. 9 is the one whale that we could not match to any previous calves. It was first seen in November of 2022. It does not match any of the 2022 calves or 2021 calves, and all of the previous calves had been photo identified. So this could be an example of a whale whose calving event was missed, and this is clearly a genetic biopsy target. Those who contributed sightings in 2023, 15 groups had more than 10 sightings, and they're shown here. There are another 19 groups not shown here who had 10 or less, and you can see that 4 groups accounted for 75% of all the sightings. The slide shows the geographic distribution of those sightings, those 3,435 sightings. You can see the proportion in the Gulf of St. Lawrence has remained relatively stable. In 2023, there was a distribution of whales out on Georges Bank that boosted the Gulf of Maine numbers. The number of unique whales seen by observer and by region. 2022 is the last year that all the matching is complete for. So you can see that the record holder is the Cape Cod Bay, Mass Bay, with 258 unique individuals seen in that habitat, and a very similar distribution by observer. Continue to collaborate closely with Tim Fraser's genetics lab at St. Mary's University on right whale genetics. And this is an example of a calf that was seen alone, never with a mother, in January of 2023. It was later seen underneath a pier and later died. We could rule out all the known mothers from 2023 as they were seen with their calves after this time. The one female that had been seen in the southeast that we could not rule out was this whale, 3194, who was just named Granite this year. She was a 26-year-old female who had never been seen with a calf and had never been biopsy darted. Luckily, Lisa Conger's team was able to get a sample from her that season in February, and Tim's lab was able to confirm that she actually was the mother of this young orphan calf. It's particularly interesting because this is the first time that we have considered a female, a reproductive female in the catalog without ever having seen her with a calf. Other catalog-related news pieces. We developed software recently with support from NOAA, in part because of the large influx of video from Canada and increasingly from drones. So this software is designed to improve the efficiency of data management and of image and video viewing over the internet. Has 2 main functions, ingest and transcode images and video, and then link videos to sightings and annotate them. It's an open source software that's written in JavaScript and Python. The ingest and transcode option does a lot of things. I won't go into details just because of time. But one of the exciting features is that you can make multiple decisions about how the files should be treated, and then set up a job that will process thousands of images and videos overnight, and moving files to specific places and doing the transcoding, etc. The link and annotate allows you to select a video and then link sections to specific sightings and draw arrows to indicate which whale in the frame is, say, whale A, the first whale of the day, versus whale B, the second whale of the day. This allows you to also export a still image or as many still images from the video, very high quality. It's a really exciting advancement. I don't have time to go into details, but please contact me if you'd like to know more. And it is open source software on GitHub under Hanson Johnson. Few interesting sightings that remind us that although we do see a large proportion of the population every year, some whales use other habitats or are less easily captured. So here are a couple of interesting examples. This is whale 1050, an adult male that was seen by HGR in May, way east of Virginia Beach, after a 13-year absence. He's at least 44 years old, has fathered at least 3 calves spanning 28 years. including the calving female Champagne and 3579, who was just named Burrell this year. Another interesting sighting, quite similar, is 1279, who was seen in June 2022 on the northern edge of Georges Bank by DFO after a 10-year absence. Another adult male, 42-year sighting history, also a father of 3, spanning 23 years, including, excuse me, calving female Mystique, who died in 2017. So both of these whales had more offshore signatures. They were seen in the offshore habitats more than not. And then really offshore, we have this character. This is a whale seen close up to Donegal, County Donegal, Northwest Ireland on July 15th, 2024. The video is of quite poor quality, but we do not think it matches anybody in the catalog, but we cannot be 100% sure. The quality is also not good enough for us to add it to the catalog because we need to be sure that we can match subsequent sightings to this sighting. So if it is eventually seen again and with better quality images and we're able to catalog it, it would be only the second whale in the catalog who has never been seen on the eastern seaboard of North America. Finally, with the creation of VITAL, we are now ready to develop the RFP to develop a new version of the DIGIT software, which we use to manage all of our images at the moment. We hope to send that RFP out by the end of the year and are eager to hear of any potential contractors, software designers who might be appropriate for this work. We do have 1 or 2 funding sources identified for this ambitious project. Also, I'm pleased to announce that Lindsay Jones, who's been leading the North Atlantic humpback whale catalog at Allied Whale at the College of the Atlantic, has joined us and will be taking over the catalog leadership from me as part of my succession planning. I'll be stepping back to focus on other projects like this DIGITS transition I just mentioned, while doing a mindful and thorough transition to Lindsay. So expect to see her here up on the stage next year. Data submission emails should still go to rwdata@neaq.org, which is managed by Monica Zani. But please include both Lindsay and me on any other catalog-related questions. And please introduce yourself to Lindsay if you don't already know her. My final slide. This is the class of 2024 whale names. I won't go into details in this presentation, but you can see here a website and a QR code where Amy Warren and Kara Mahoney Robinson have created a slideshow giving the explanations for these names. And I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's here and supports the catalog by donating their sightings and their images. And as always, to the National Marine Fisheries Service for their dedicated and ongoing support of the catalog. Thank you so much.